Welcome to Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, the Facebook page on YouTube. What I want to talk about just now is journalism, and my fear is it's becoming a dying breed. What we've got just now, I mean, usually the time I pick up a paper, read the newspaper and stuff, or you get the daily news. The news was on every hour, and that's how you got your information. But sadly enough, now the internet's came, and the internet is now filled with so-called journalism. And what we have is all the news stations, right, from your TV, they each have websites. In order that you click onto them, they have Bluetooth, so you can get onto their sites, you know. So they're trying to keep you with them and trying to make sure that no matter where you go, you can get a hold of whatever TV station there is. And then you've got Facebook, okay, and either you're a Twitter or a Facebook or whatever, you cannot just keep up to date with just one thing. You've got Facebook. If you're on Facebook, then you'll end up getting a Twitter account as well. If you've got Twitter, then you'll have an Instagram account, and so forth. So, and then, as I say, the news, they'll go onto Facebook and say, so the BBC will have a Facebook page, they'll have an Instagram page, they'll have a Twitter account page, everything's there. And then you have your email address, and your email address, so once you've clicked onto something, or you feel like you need to comment on something, you have to give them your email. And then once you've done that, you get all their stuff. Okay, I click onto my email account, and I see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of news from websites that aren't actually coming from journalists, and it's a scary process now. Put that to the side 1 minute. My Facebook page, I get offers to buy my page. Now I don't take any of that serious because I do not own Facebook, and I do not gain any money through Facebook. You know, they say, oh, we'll buy your page, we'll give you money per person that likes it. It's just a lot of nonsense, and it's order for them to advertise or whatever it is they want with it. So, putting that aside, the only way really that you yourself make money is if you start up your own website. But for me, the Facebook page is just for me to put on my stuff that I like, and everything else I don't get anything from it. The only thing I get from it is for you guys and girls to read and hopefully be uplifted by it. There is no financial gain for me, and that again, put that to the side. That then takes us on to these websites that somehow does. Now, I am talking about anything that is superheroes or comicbook.com and stuff, and they post stuff in order for you to click onto them, clickbait and whatnot. Yeah, I've spoke to them about it all the time. So they post stuff, and in order for you to read it. Now, these are coming from critics and reviewers that are not exactly clickbait people. Real journalists. They're not real journalists. But we get shooked in, and we get shooked into it because either the headlines or by the comments they made. And now again, it's on YouTube as well. See, the BBC or whatever news programs you watch, whatever country you're on, they've got a YouTube channel for it as well. Even every program now, every daytime TV program has got a YouTube subscribe thing. And so we're inundated with all these so-called news programs and stuff, and for instance, Collider, okay, they sit at a nice desk and they've got the back screens and stuff like that, and it's treated as though they are journalists, but they're not. They're basically YouTubers that started out the same way, well, like what I'm doing just now, but again, and then they are whatever company they're working with, Collider or whatever, or AMC as it used to be, and so they give them money, and then they forward it, and some people listen to their opinions and take their opinions in because they believe that they're so-called journalists. But there are journalists out there. There are real good ones, but sadly enough, we're becoming a society now where I believe that reviews or critics reviews, Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, we're not listening to them anymore. They are losing the credit. Not through their own fault, but because of fake news. And talking about this so-called fake news now, I'm only talking about stuff about DC. DC movie reviews, it's not exactly fake news, but it's joining in with everything else. People take it serious. It's financial gain in the cinema and film companies, so it can still be taken as a serious issue when it comes to just about DC or Marvel. Are you with me so far? Right, I mean, when I speak of fake news, I mean anything in general. I mean, you might think fake news just covers anything that's actually worthwhile, like political stuff or the way the world is just now, but I'm basically talking about, stuff like movies, fans and DC comics and stuff. So now we have, I just saw in the news a guy that started Wikipedia, and he's starting a campaign to end fake news, and they tried to be unbiased, and he said this on the news, on one of the news channels, as Wikipedia tries to be, which it should be, on the level playing field. They don't want to show favouritism. Now that is true journalism, and they're going to try and attack fake news and maybe put things attached to their, attached to their sources. Whatever article they write, they'll show you what source they got it from, and I'm all for that. And sadly enough, as you say, when you go into Facebook, you see all these websites, and it's the source ran or Variety or everything else, then everybody jumps on board. But it may be the same news, but a different headline. A headline that basically, for me, trashes DC most of the time because of the biased things. And I was talking to what I would call a journalist, Mark Hughes, I think, and he was first of all saying that the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is fantastic, or it's fine, or it's good or stuff, and I just went biased Marvel, man, because it's no surprise. We're living in a world now where things are trending, things bash DC and give Marvel the thumbs up. And the reason why I'm now living in this sort of zone is because of bad journalism. I say bad journalism, but just fake journalism, and it's made me fearful for the future, because there are these websites out there that somehow gain money by posting these articles for you to click on or comment. And as I said many times in my videos before, please don't click onto them, please don't even comment on them, because for all we know, you are somehow adding money to their pockets by watching Collider or any other thing that you believe has some sort of agenda. Then what's it do? Because they be given, a lot of these places are given backseat passes to cinemas, and they're given they're treated to behind the scenes studio tours and stuff like that. And there's one critic, I won't mention his name, he's bashed DC a lot, and he was put onto the set of Justice League, and Ben Affleck sat down beside him, and he looked him square in the eye, and he said, but even and one of his reviews after it, he just looked very conniving, you know, as though I am popular. No, I am Mr. Big now because I've been invited. No, you're not Mr. Big. You're not even a journalist, pal. You're just somebody like me that has somehow twisted real news and unfortunately given journalists a bad name. What? Who are the journalists we should read? Well, that's up to you to find out. To search. Film Junkie does it all the time. He searches for whoever he wants to do. For even Rotten Tomatoes, most of the critics on that, if you look at the scores and how they view films, most of them are not. Most of them don't even have a valid point or a valid reason. And then, of course, you've got the score thing that doesn't work. I'm not going to go. I'm drifting off the subject, but you get my meaning. Reviews. If you want an honest review, then find a journalist and find an honest journalist. I could listen to bad reviews on stuff that I love dear. I could listen to that and I get it. I mean, I used to be that way with Campion, with John Campion. Then I realised it just got to the stage where I kept on people kept telling me, no, he's biased, and I keep defending him. But you've got to find this. You've got to find the person that doesn't go out of the way to just put down something straight away. You know, you've got to find that person that you feel you can trust. And Mark Hughes is one of those guys, one of the journalists I've seen on Facebook that I do trust, because not only that, you know, has he defended DC, he's defended DC and he's tweeted things back to them, but if he goes out the next day and puts something down, I'll listen to his point of view, and I'll read what he's got to say, and I'll probably, you know, I'll still follow him, because for me he's a true journalist. And there's many more people like that out there, but unfortunately they're getting swallowed up by non-journalists. And my page itself, it can be a biased page because we're only posting positive stuff. But for me, I'd rather read positive stuff rather than negative stuff. I'd rather read in the newspapers tomorrow the world will be around for the next million years instead of the world will be gone in 10. You know, so I'd rather listen to that sort of positively biased news, because that way we're not offending anyone, we're not hurting anybody, and you know, if we post something good and you don't like it, well, hopefully we've tried to lessen the blow for you. So that's my thought for the day. This is Man of Steel fan, gives hope. Thank you.